2025&apos. Today, we're diving into the magical world of gemstone collecting for beginners. If you've ever been captivated by the beauty of sparkling gems or dreamed of starting your very own collection, this is your ultimate guide. From picking your first stone to building a collection that shines as brightly as your passion, we've got you covered. Let's get started.
All right, let's jump into another deep dive today. We're going to be treasure hunting.
Oh, cool.
Well, virtually, of course. We're going to be checking out this Top 10 Treasures Found 2024 video from the Green Mountain Metal Detecting YouTube channel. And you know what? It's amazing the variety of finds. We've got historical coins. We even have a surprisingly modern item on this list.
Nice.
All unearthed right here in the U.S. So put on your imaginary metal detecting headphones. And let's get started.
Okay, I'm ready to go. There's just something about the idea of unearthing these hidden gems. You know, it really captures the imagination.
It really does.
Like every ping of the detector could be a portal to another time.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of pings, let's talk about our number 10 find. It's a 1911 Barber $50. And the detectorist who found this was super excited.
I bet.
Yeah, he even mentioned it was a pretty rare find for him.
It's interesting to think about what that $50 would have gotten you back then.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
in 1911.
Yeah.
50 cents went a lot further. You could have gotten a decent meal,
Mhm.
a few gallons of gas. It really puts in perspective how the value of money has changed.
For sure. It's
Yeah.
amazing how just a simple coin can open up like a window to the past like that. Okay, moving on to number 9. We have a discovery that's got me intrigued. A 1954 class ring
Wow.
found alongside its chain. But here's the thing. The ring has a ball inscription and a monogram.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's SMPH. What do you make of that?
Well, the ball could be a clue to the school or maybe an organization that the ring belonged to. Maybe it's short for Baldwin or Ballard.
Oh, that's possible.
And that monogram, SMPH, those could be the initials of the owner, you know.
Okay, yeah.
It's like a little puzzle just waiting to be solved.
It really is. It definitely adds like a personal touch to the find.
Mm.
All right, this next one is tiny but mighty. At number 8, we have a silver 3-cent piece from the 1850s.
Wow.
And the detectorist who found it even described it as being smaller than a dime.
Wow,
Can you imagine?
that's tiny. You know, these 3-cent pieces, they're actually a really fascinating little footnote in U.S. currency history.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were only minted for a short time, from the mid-1850s to the early 1870s.
Whoa.
They were actually intended to help with the change shortage during the Civil War.
Mhm.
But they ultimately weren't that popular.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and they were eventually discontinued. Finding one today is really quite a treat.
Wow. I'm always amazed by the stories behind these seemingly insignificant objects. Speaking of surprises, our number 7 treasure is something you might not expect to find buried underground. A practically new Leatherman Surge multi-tool.
Now, that's a surprise.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder what we consider treasure. You know,
Great.
is it purely about money or is it more about the historical significance?
Yeah.
I mean, this Leatherman, while valuable, is a pretty modern find. Makes you think how it ended up lost in the first place.
Definitely does. Maybe someone dropped it while working on a project. Or maybe it fell out of a backpack during a hike. But hey, $150 find is a $150 find, right? Okay, picture this. You're at a metal detecting event. You decide to hop a fence into a sheep pasture. And bam, you dig up a beautiful 1876 seated Liberty Quarter.
Wow.
That's what happened with our number 6 treasure.
You know, that year, 1876, makes this find pretty special.
Oh, yeah. How so?
Well, it was the year of the U.S. Centennial Celebration, marking 100 years of American independence.
Oh, wow.
Just imagine the excitement and pride going through the nation at that time. Finding a coin from that year is like holding a piece of that historical moment.
For sure. It definitely adds a layer of patriotism to this find. Now, for this Green Mountain detectorist, finding a Civil War-era Vermont military button was a really special moment for him. He's a 7th-generation Vermonter, so discovering this relic from his home state's past was incredibly meaningful. That's our number 5 treasure.
You know, Vermont played a really crucial role in the Civil War. Despite being a small state,
I didn't know that.
yeah, they fiercely defended the Union cause. And their regiments saw action in a lot of major battles. This button really serves as a tangible reminder of the sacrifices made by Vermonters during that time.
Wow. It must have been an incredible feeling to connect with his family's history in such a tangible way. Okay, moving on to number 4. We have a 1787 New York State copper coin. And unfortunately, the finder accidentally scratched it with his shovel.
Oh, no.
Talk about a bittersweet discovery.
That's rough. What makes this coin really interesting is the inscription. It says Nova Ebor, which is Latin for New York.
Wow.
But the irony is that this coin was minted when New York was still under British rule.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was just a few years after the American Revolution, so that transition from colony to an independent state was still pretty fresh.
Yeah.
This coin really represents that fascinating period of change.
It's a reminder that history is full of these complex layers. All right, get ready for some sparkle. Because our number 3 treasure is a 10-carat gold men's wedding band found in a swimming hole.
Gold finds are actually pretty rare for this detectorist, so this was a real highlight for him.
Yeah, I bet.
What's remarkable about gold is how durable it is. This ring was probably submerged in that swimming hole for years, maybe even decades.
Wow.
And yet it came out in pretty good condition. That's part of what makes gold so valuable. Its ability to withstand time.
It's like a symbol of enduring love, even if it was lost and found in a swimming hole.
Speaking of enduring beauty, our number 2 treasure is a work of art. A sterling silver guitar pin.
Oh, cool.
And you guessed it, the detectorist who found it is a guitarist himself.
That's awesome. You know, the pin was found in pieces.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which adds a little mystery to the find. Was it damaged underground or was it always incomplete?
Yeah.
It makes you wonder about the story behind it.
It does.
Who wore it? How was it lost? What happened to the rest of it? These are the kinds of questions that make metal detecting so captivating. It's not just about the objects, it's about the stories behind them, the mysteries they hold. And now for the grand finale, the number 1 treasure. That had everyone saying, "Are you kidding me?" A 1793 8 reales Spanish silver coin, also known as a piece of 8.
Wow, this is truly an exceptional find.
It is.
We're talking about a coin from the reign of Charles IV of Spain, minted in Mexico City.
Wow.
You can actually tell it's from Mexico City by the M mark on it. These pieces of 8 were legendary. They were the currency of empires, traded across continents, even featured in tales of pirates and buried treasure. It's incredible to think this coin unearthed in the U.S. was once a part of that global network of trade and adventure.
It's a tangible link to a bygone era. You can practically hear the echoes of history in its clinking.
Oh, yeah. Makes you wonder about the journey that coin has taken, from the mint in Mexico City to the hands of traders and sailors, maybe even a pirate or two, and finally to a field in the U.S., where it stayed hidden for all those years.
It's crazy to think about all the hands it must have passed through. You know, one thing that struck me while watching this Green Mountain video was like the genuine excitement these detectorists have for their hobby.
Yeah.
It's not just about finding valuable objects, it's about uncovering history and connecting with the past and the thrill of the hunt.
Oh, yeah, you're absolutely right. There's a real sense of community among metal detectorists.
Really?
Yeah, they share tips and stories, help each other identify their finds, they celebrate each other's successes, and for many of them, it's about preserving history. And they carefully document their finds, they'll research their origins, and a lot of times they'll even donate significant items to museums.
That's really cool. It's like they're citizen historians, playing an active role in piecing together the puzzle of the past. Speaking of puzzles, do you have a favorite find from this top 10 list?
Oh, that's a tough one. They're all so fascinating. But if I had to pick one, I think I'd go with that 1954 class ring with the inscription, the ball one. There's just something about the personal nature of it that I find really intriguing. I'd love to see if we could track down the original owner or their family and learn the story behind it.
That would be amazing. It would be so cool to return it to its owner. Or at least connect it with its history. I gotta ask, if you could wave a magic metal detector and find anything in the world, what would it be?
That's a great question. For me, I think it'd be something that sheds light on a historical mystery or fills in a gap in our understanding of the past. Maybe a lost diary from a key figure in a historical event, or a cache of letters that reveal a new perspective on something that changes how we think about history.
That's awesome. I think I'd want something a little more personal.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a locket with a hidden love letter. Or a ring with a secret message engraved inside.
Oh, cool.
It's those little glimpses into the lives of everyday people that I find so captivating.
I agree. It's those human stories that make history come alive. It reminds us that the people who came before us were just like us. They loved, they lost, they dreamed. And they left their mark on the world.
And who knows, maybe centuries from now, someone will be digging up our old cell phones and wondering about the lives we lived.
It's a funny thought.
It is.
Makes you wonder what future generations will consider treasure from our time.
Yeah.
What everyday objects will become relics of the past?
It's a thought-provoking question. But for now, let's focus on the treasures we've talked about today. We've seen such a variety of finds, from ancient coins to modern tools, each with its own unique story.
And I think what ties them all together is that sense of wonder and discovery.
Yeah.
Whether it's a simple coin or a piece of jewelry, each one represents a connection to the past, a tangible reminder of the people who came before us and the lives they lived.
Absolutely. It's a reminder that history isn't just something we read in textbooks. It's all around us, hidden right beneath our feet, waiting to be unearthed. It really makes you want to grab a metal detector and start digging, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And you just never know what you're going to find. That's like part of the magic of it.
Yeah.
That element of surprise.
Yeah.
The potential to just unearth something incredible right in your backyard.
So if you're feeling inspired to go on your own treasure hunt, I highly recommend checking out Green Mountain Metal Detecting on YouTube. They do an awesome job of capturing the excitement of the hobby, and their videos have tons of tips and information for beginners and experts alike.
Oh, for sure. Their enthusiasm is contagious. You can tell they love what they do. And they do a great job of sharing that passion with their viewers.
Yeah.
You might even pick up a few new tricks by watching.
Speaking of tricks of the trade, do you have any advice for aspiring treasure hunters?
Well, first and foremost, do your research. Learn about the history of your area. Familiarize yourself with the different types of metal detectors.
Oh, okay.
And always make sure you have permission to detect on the property you're searching. And most importantly, have fun. Metal detecting is a great way to connect with history, get some fresh air, and maybe even uncover a treasure or two along the way.
Great advice. It's a good reminder that the real treasure is the journey itself, the thrill of the hunt, the excitement of the discovery, the connections we make with history, and, with other enthusiasts.
Absolutely. And hey, who knows? Maybe one day we'll be featuring your finds on a future deep dive.
That would be awesome. But until then, we want to leave you with one final thought, as we saw today. The value of a treasure isn't always about the money. It's really about the stories these objects tell, the connections they make across time,
Right.
and the sense of wonder they inspire.
So keep your eyes open, your curiosity peaked,
Yeah.
and your metal detectors ready. You never know what treasures are waiting out there, right below the surface, whispering tales of the past.
Happy hunting, everyone!
Thank you for watching Hollywood Buzz. We hope you are feeling inspired to start your gemstone journey. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on our sparkling updates. Share your favorite gemstone in the comments below, and let's keep the conversation going.